Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Today I'm sharing a brand new dump and go crockpot meal ideas video. I chose to do breakfast theme this time with Christmas coming up. I know a lot of you will be looking for easy breakfast ideas for Christmas morning, so I tried out 4 recipes and we loved every single one. I've tried to decide which is my favorite and I really can't because they were all that good, so I'm excited to share those with you today. All of today's recipes were planned with the Favorite Eats app. If you guys download and follow me, you will have access to all of the recipes in today's video. I like this app because you can very easily create a meal plan by just simply scrolling the home page of the app where you'll find suggested recipes. You can also sync it to your Pinterest boards, so all of the recipes that I've ever saved on Pinterest will be right here in the app and ready for me to add to my meal plan. And then once I have the meal plan, it'll generate a shopping list of everything that I need to grab from the store, and I can check it off if I already have it. And if I want to search for specific types of recipes like crock pot, I can type that into the search bar and it'll generate a feed of all crock pot recipes for me to look through. And if I have like specific ingredients on hand that I want to use up, I can check them here in the drop down and it'll pull up recipes that I can make with those ingredients. So the app really does make life a little bit easier. It does a lot of the brain work for you when you're creating your meal plans and grocery list. So make sure to click that link down below and connect with me. The very first one we're gonna make is crock pot monkey bread. I remember as a kid this was something that we always had every Christmas, and I didn't realize how easy it is to make in the crock pot. So for this you'll just need a can of biscuits. I'm using the honey butter flavor. You'll need some ground cinnamon, 4 tablespoons of butter, some brown sugar. And to make things a little bit easier, I'm going to use a slow cooker liner. You can find these at most grocery stores. They're normally on the very bottom shelf where you find tin foil, sandwich bags, things like that. They'll be on the very bottom. At least that's where I've always found them. So the first thing I'm doing is melting down my butter, and then I'm going to take my biscuits and cut those into quarters. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and place in my crock pot liner. So now I'm taking a cup of brown sugar and placing that into my bowl, putting in a dash of cinnamon. I think it's about a teaspoon is what the recipe calls for, and I'm just going to give that a stir. And then we're going to take the biscuit pieces and roll it in the butter and then into the brown sugar and cinnamon mixture, and then we're going to put it in the crock pot. I wasn't sure how good this was going to be since we're using canned biscuits, but this was so good. So here's what it should look like. I just took the excess brown sugar and cinnamon mixture and put it on top. Now I started out with my crock pot on low for 2 hours, but I ended up switching it to high and doing it for an additional 30 minutes because you'll see at the end here the biscuits just weren't getting done. And this is the end result. This monkey bread makes for a really good sweet and savory breakfast. You can pair it up with sausage or bacon and it is just bomb. So definitely give this one a try. The next one is another favorite. Like I said, I could not pick a favorite from this video because they were all just so good. So this one is a cheesy hash brown sausage casserole. Okay, so she's actually making her own cream of chicken on this recipe, but she says in there that we can use the canned kind as an alternative. I'm gonna do that just to cut a corner. It's gonna be much easier, and I already have this on hand. She says that if you do use the canned, you need to make sure that you have 2 cups of liquid total between the can and whatever liquid you choose to use. I'm gonna use milk. You can use chicken broth, you can use water, whatever you want to use. I'm going to use milk, so that'll give me my 2 cups of liquid there between those. So I'm going to mix those together. We're going to pour in this whole bag of potatoes O'Brien. I think her recipe just calls for cubed hash browns, but in my Walmart, all they had were these. It has the peppers and onions, which is fine. So you know what, I may skip out and not use this onion since my potatoes already have that. Okay, that'll work. So cancel the onion because my potatoes O'Brien has the onions already. I'm gonna cube this up into little pieces. That'll go in there, and then we'll stir in some cheese and then pour that over. So the first thing I did was I placed in my liner and then my potatoes, and I went ahead and poured in the entire bag of cheese, which was the equivalent of 2 cups. And then my sausage, I'm just dicing that up and get that in there. Really quick before I place the lid on, I just want to give everything a stir and make sure everything is mixed really good. I'm also going to add in a little bit of salt and pepper. Just be careful because we did add in cream of chicken, which already has a lot of sodium. This was so good. It reminded me a lot of my funeral potatoes recipe that I like to make that are kind of like this. It has the cream of chicken and the cheese. But this is a really good thing to freeze. So we ate what we wanted out of it, and then we put the rest into freezer containers and we'll have it for later. But yeah, super, super delicious recipe. Highly recommend. This next one is a bacon, egg, and like biscuit kind of type casserole. It's got all the components that you would have like on a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, just in casserole form. So all you need for this is some all-purpose baking mix, which is also known as Biscuit. This is just the off-brand that we have. We're going to use some ground mustard, and then we have 6 eggs here. I'm also going to use some of this Applewood thick cut bacon, and I have a little over a cup of cheese here. I've got some milk in our slow cooker liner. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm cutting up my bacon into about 1-inch pieces, and we're going to cook that until it's crispy. While the bacon is going, I'm going to go ahead and place in my liner and mix all of the other ingredients in a bowl. And also, if you want this to be more dump and go, I know I say this in all of my crock pot dump and go videos, but I just think it's a really good tip, and so I always like to mention it, is that if you want it to be more dump and go, just make sure to do any of the prep work that needs to be done the night before. Like for instance, cooking any meat that needs to be cooked, you can do that the night before, so on the morning of, you can just put everything in the crock pot and go. And also what you could do is put everything together and assemble it the night before, so all you have to do the next morning is just pour it into your crock pot. So that's a tip that I have for you guys, is to do any of the prep work the night before so that your life is a little bit easier. So now what I'm going to do is drain my bacon, and we're going to put that into our mixture and pour this into the crock pot. So with that Biscuit and egg and bacon, it's just like one big giant cheesy biscuit. It was so good. Watching this back, I want some, but we are all out. We ate it all. So I'm definitely gonna have to make this again. And then the very last one is a potato and egg casserole with sausage. You can use whatever meat you want to use. For this, you'll need a bag of the potatoes O'Brien with peppers and onions. And then you'll also need some breakfast sausage links. I've got 6 eggs here. I've got some milk and then also some cheese and of course our liners. I'm cutting this recipe in half. I'm not going to use all of these sausage links, but I did go ahead and cook them all up because the kids were hungry anyways and they could have these in the meantime. So I'm only going to use 6 of the sausage links. Once it's done, I'm going to cut it into little bite-sized pieces. You can use whatever meat you want to use. If you wanted to use ham, bacon, you don't have to use any meat at all if you didn't want to. So the next thing I'm going to do is mix together my milk and my eggs. I'm adding in some salt and pepper. I'm going to whisk that together. And then the next thing I'm going to do is place in my liner with my potatoes. I'm going to use half the bag of cheese because like I said, I was halving this recipe and I didn't need the entire bag. So just a couple of handfuls of cheese. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put in the sausage and pour over the egg and milk mixture. We're just gonna give that a stir. My potatoes were still frozen, so I was having to chop them up a little bit to get them to break up. So this is what it looked like. It was so good. I was worried about this one because while it cooked, it looked a little bit watery, but after the full cook time, it came together wonderfully. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you give any of these recipes a try, let me know down below. Like I said, I know you guys are going to be looking for some easy breakfast ideas with Christmas coming up, so hopefully this video helped you out. All of these recipes were absolutely delicious. So thank you guys for watching today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.